Obligatory spoiler warning.
Honestly, only one part of any data mine information from the Sun and Moon demo is mentioned, but it is still unconfirmed. If you are choosing to avoid anything that is outside of the official reviews and viewings of the demo and official statements, I applaud you to tune out now. If you are okay knowing one thing in order to have a guide into deeper thinking, well, hold on to your butts. Okay, so October 18th, at different times around the globe, the Pokemon Sun and Moon demo was released on the Nintendo eShop for download. In it, we got to gain first-hand experience to the graphics and basic game mechanics of the upcoming Generation 7. To say it was game-changing is an understatement. We are now able to move in freeform ways, moving exclusively to the joystick of the Nintendo 3DS, not constrained to the 8-way movement of Generation 6, or even the 4-way movement of Generations 1 through 5. We see the new ability and form of Greninja, arguably the most popular mon of the last 3 years among consumers of the game and the anime. We see a glimpse into the Alolan region and what it has to offer for native species, cultural traditions, and insight into the evil team of these new games. A whole new experience in a whole new... Wait a minute. Is that a Machamp? Machamp? Another Generation 1 Pokemon in Alola. Alolan Machamp. God, why? Alolan Machamp confirmed, okay? Okay, jokes aside, why do we see Machamp? Sure, the four-armed fighter has been seen or referenced in past games as movers, as well as the pre-evolution Machoke as recent as Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Generation 3 remakes. But why here in Alola? We've already been shown other fighting types, such as Beware, Passimian, and Hakamo, so why wouldn't they be the Pokemovers of Alola? There's even a Clydesdale Pokemon in Mudsdale, based on an animal used for pulling heavy objects. So why Machamp? Well, if you're thinking, they just wanted to give a shout out to Machop in Vermilion City back in Kanto, stomping out the ground to flatten it for a new building, you stupid idiot. You quite possibly could be right. I mean, since when has Nintendo, Game Freak, or the Pokemon Company ever put subtle messages and hints in video games? Anyways, I ask you to open your minds to me for just a few minutes. Just hear me out. Now, I did have a spoiler warning at the beginning of this video, and this is the part where the data mine info comes into play. You've been warned twice now. During the day of the demo's release, data miners went to town on the demo, just as they did over a year prior to the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire demo. In that data mine, we found hints and stats to new Mega forms, such as Mega Beedrill and Mega Pidgeot. In the data mine for the Sun and Moon demo, one thing was found very intriguing: Alolan forms. Apparently, the Alolan region has caused some species of Pokemon to evolve or mutate into new typings. Vulpix and Ninetales have become Ice and Ice Fairy, respectively. Alolan Executors have extremely, and comically, long necks and gain the Dragon typing, replacing the Psychic typing of normal Executors. From the data mined info, some unconfirmed Alolan forms were leaked onto Bulbapedia, including a grass-fighting Alolan Machamp. Now, how can there be a leaked data mined information stating Alolan Machamp, yet in the demo, we see what is obviously a regular Machamp? One conclusion is simply, the data mined info is wrong. Simple mistake. One wrong zero instead of a 1. Or, we could have unintentionally snuck up upon the biggest Pokemon development to date. Let me explain. Alolan forms have been explained as species of Pokemon adapting to climate and environment of the Alolan region. Adapting to climate and environment, also known as evolution, specifically Darwinian evolution. Charles Darwin was an English naturalist and geologist in the 1800s. He's most well known for the idea of natural selection or branching evolution lines due to survival. Using the native finches of the Galapagos Islands, the conclusion was drawn that the birds' beaks varied from island to island, depending on the food sources available. Some species had short, thick beaks to break nuts and seeds, while others had longer, curved beaks to hunt smaller rodents and fish. The birds were adapting due to their environment. Sound familiar? Confirmed in Sun and Moon is a bird species that reflects this idea almost to the letter. Oricorio. Oricorio is a small bird that has 4 different forms, each with a different primary typing, and all paired with the flying typing: Fire, Electric, Ghost, and Psychic. According to the official Pokemon website releasing information surrounding this new Pokemon, Oricorio has 4 different forms, the same as the number of islands in Alola. It would seem that different Oricorio live on each of the islands. Almost identical to Darwin's theory of natural selection. Finally, Pokemon, a game surrounding the idea of catching little monsters to evolve and battle and trade with your friends, is bringing real-life scientific theory into its universe. Well, they did do the thing in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire with the Delta episode and multiverse theory, and, well, that's a whole thing for another video. My question to you, faithful viewer, is this. If a natural species to the Alola region has to change its types and appearance due to what island it inhabits, who is to say that these new Alolan forms of familiar Kanto Pokemon are not just adaptations to a specific island? Why can we not have the familiar ground-type Marowak on one island, while Alolan Marowak have been selectively bred to become Ghost Fire type due to human interaction on another? We already see that the humans of Alola can create Alolan forms, example being the change in Meowth when introduced to the royal families, or Rattata and Raticate keeping to the darkness and gaining weight from being around human society rather than out in the open fields of Kanto. Thus, it is very possible that the data-mined, grass-fighting Alolan Machamp can be a part of the games, just that they are not native to the island that the demo takes place on. Trainers across the Alola region may have Alolan forms of these Pokemon, but who is to say that those Pokemon are from that island, and not from another where they had to evolve to survive in different conditions? Pokemon has the mechanic of seeing where any mon was caught down to the route number. Effectively, both Alolan and regular forms of Pokemon could be available in both Sun and Moon using the concept of Darwinian natural selection and how it is already confirmed to apply that concept to Oricorio, a native species of Alola. But hey, what do I know? Nintendo and Game Freak have surprised us in the past. I mean, who really saw Muna coming? A pink, flowery, oh my god. So what do you guys think of this theory? Did it blow your mind? Did you learn something? Do you now hate your 7th grade science teacher even more? It's the first Pokemon theory I've brought to the channel, and I would greatly appreciate your feedback down there in the comments. I mean, that is what they are for, after all. I'm Carson, and this is Toxic Gaming. And as always, you guys stay toxic. We'll see you guys.